Whispers of the Wyrm ***. In the quiet town of Everwood, nestled deep within ancient woods, legends swirled like autumn leaves caught in the wind. Most were just stories to entertain children around the campfire, but one particular legend had endured through generations: the legend of the Wyrm. According to the tales passed down by the town's elders, the Wyrm was a serpent-like creature said to dwell beneath the roots of the great yew tree in the heart of the forest. It consumed the spirits of those who dared to venture into its territory, never to return. No one had seen the beast for centuries, yet the stories painted such vivid pictures of its scaly, iridescent body that the townsfolk could not help but feel a lingering shiver whenever they passed the tree. 17-year-old Clara Anders had always been skeptical of such myths. She was a young woman of science, passionate about biology and determined to debunk these tales as mere folklore. However, when Clara stumbled across her grandmother's journal late one stormy night, her skepticism began to waver. The journal detailed encounters with the Wyrm, scribbled in a shaky hand, warning that it would awaken again if provoked. "You think she was mad?" her younger brother, Evan, had teased, flicking through the yellowed pages. Determined to prove the myths false, Clara declared a plan to explore the forest. With Evan reluctantly in tow, she ventured out at dusk, balancing a flashlight in one hand and the journal in the other. They trekked deeper into the woods, where the air grew heavy, and an eerie stillness enveloped them. "There it is," Clara whispered as they finally reached the grand yew tree. Its gnarled roots twisted like forlorn spirits clawing at the earth. Unease simmered in her stomach. Did the wind carry a low hum, or was it the murmurs of the forest? "Let's just take a quick look and go back," Evan urged. They knelt beside the tree, inspecting the mottled bark. Clara frowned, reading her grandmother's words about the Wyrm's talismans, the trinkets sealed with the spirits of the lost. She picked up a shard of what appeared to be bone, half buried in the soil. The instant she touched it, a warm pulse surged through her fingers, and the air around them thickened. The forest buzzed to life, the very ground shuddering beneath them. Panic washed over Clara. "Evan, we should." Before she could finish her warning, a distant rumble echoed through the trees. The earth quivered viciously. Clara and Evan scrambled back as part of the ground collapsed near the yew, revealing a dark, gaping maw. From this gaping chasm, a glimmering silhouette emerged, a sinuous figure, glistening in hues of emerald and deep indigo. Each scale shimmered as if it were a fragment of forgotten starlight. The creature's eyes, piercing and intelligent, fixated on them, glowing with an insatiable hunger. "Run!" Clara screamed, dragging Evan to his feet. They tore back into the depths of the forest, but it was no use. The Wyrm moved with terrifying speed, weaving through the trees with a grace that belied its massive size. As they fled, the forest morphed into a nightmare. The trees twisted and bent impossibly, branches clawing at their clothes as if trying to pull them back, while fanged shadows danced just at the edges of their vision. They could no longer tell if they were running toward safety or deeper into the Wyrm's realm. A gut-wrenching roar shattered the night, reverberating through their bones. Memories of the stories returned in a flood, of young men who had come to confront the Wyrm and had never returned. A sickening dread filled Clara's chest. She had undone an ancient seal. Through the densely packed trees, Clara spotted the faint glow of their town's lights illuminating the path. "Evan, this way," she urged. But as they navigated through the dark, the Wyrm was relentless in its pursuit, its presence a ghostly shadow behind them. Clara's heart raced, her thoughts racing as she recalled her grandmother's journal. There was a way to pacify the creature, to put it back to rest. The talismans. She recalled a passage, hastily scribbled toward the end. "Offer the Wyrm a spirit of your blood and the cycle will end." Clara's breath caught in her throat. Blood? What did it mean? No. She couldn't. But with Evan's terrified eyes glancing back, she couldn't let him be its next victim. Clara stopped, spinning back around in the haze of darkness. Heart racing, she pressed her palm against the dirt and whispered, desperate, willing herself to heed the call of ancestral instinct. "Please, I offer a piece of my spirit for his safety." The forest fell silent. For a moment, the chaos paused. The Wyrm's eye glimmered above them, intrigued as it shimmered into view. With one quick motion, Clara drew a small pocket knife from her backpack, pressing it into her palm. "Take it," she yelled, pouring her emotions into the words. Take this blood, and spare my brother." A stillness swallowed the forest. The worm hesitated, its curious eyes studying her. When the creature finally lunged forward, Clara gasped, ready to surrender herself, but instead, the worm recoiled, a flicker of shamed recognition dancing in its endless gaze. The glow dimmed, and with a final rumble that shook the very earth, it slithered back into the dark abyss from which it came. Clara staggered, breathless yet relieved. The worm was gone, at least for now. She collapsed into Evan's arms, tears streaming as they stumbled toward the light of their town, along a path no longer haunted by shadows. But as the first rays of dawn broke through the trees, Clara glanced back one final time at the yew tree. For a beat, she could have sworn she caught the glimpse of scaled skin, a flash of emerald shimmering in the morning light. The temptation lingered, and the horrors of the legend echoed softly in her ears. The worm might be gone, but legends never really die. They merely slumber, waiting for their call.